Ooh, dessert's arrived. Yeah. Helldragon is a Spoonie fan whose main interests are anime, video games, and giant robots. Yes, it's the hat trick and pushy deflection. Like many geeks, he has a blog about all his rants and raves and all the things he hates about nerddom, all the things he likes about nerddom. He is the highlight of about half a dozen people a week. So, let me introduce you to the man you didn't know you didn't want to know. Helldragon. Enjoy.
Excelsior! You know, the Spoonie experiment is one of my favorite sites to visit, but do you know how it got started? It actually started as an homage to Mystery Science Theater 3000, but it was different in the fact that it was exactly the same. Spoonie even tried to build robots for it, but he only finished one. That one's called Bert, and whenever he talks in a video, Spoonie does his voice. That's actually still different from the robots on Mystery Science Theater, in that those robots are voiced by people worth mentioning. In retrospect, it wasn't really a good idea. Maybe that's why he calls himself Spoonie, because Spoonie is usually defined as being silly or foolish. Ironically, it's a perfect description considering how often he walks into a Michael Bay film. But still, Spoonie makes some really good videos. Even his first one is still good. You know, the one where he reviews Bayou Billy? Apparently it was supposed to be more forgiving in the beta version. What would happen is that when you'd get stuck, you'd press a button and it would give you a pep talk. It'd be like, hey man, you're not as bad off as you think you are. Hell, some people can't even afford shoes. My favorite videos are when he does playthroughs of games like SWAT 4 and Phantasmagoria. He did a Tekken playthrough once, but it got taken down for some reason. I think it's because he's so good at Tekken, it was really short. Basically what happened is that when he began a new game, it started with the end credits. He's also got that FMV Hell series where he reviews bad FMV games. Most of them are horror games, but they're usually so cheesy that they don't really scare me. Besides, I've already got nightmares where I'm being chased by Spoonie's nipples. But you know the reason he does this? It's because of that game Microcosm, which was hyped to hell and back for what was pretty much a bad shoot-'em-up. It hurt him so much that he made up this imaginary friend that helps him cope. Apparently she's called Scarlet. But, you know, besides that, you really have to admire Spoonie. He's put out all this great stuff, and he's built up this big fan base who likes everything he does, and only him. Because if you guest star in his videos, they'll tell the FBI that you're an asshole and you hang out with Bin Laden all the time. What's great about Spoonie, though, is that he's got a lot of big names who like his work. Even Yahtzee, the guy behind Zero Punctuation, likes his stuff. It's kind of surprising, really, since Yahtzee usually comes off like he hates everything. Then again, when you watch Price is Right and find your house being offered on Showcase Showdown, you tend to change your perspective. Actually, what really shocks me is that Encyclopedia Dramatica's article about Spoonie is actually kind of positive. Though, let's be honest, that's the same effect as skydiving into a cactus and porcupine convention. Still, even that huge fan base doesn't protect Spoonie. I remember when he was doing the Final Fantasy VIII review, and he got a lot of hate mail because he hated that game. Hey, it could have been worse. I heard that when The Phantom Menace came out, some guys mailed George Lucas a set of silverware. And a list of places he can stick them in his body. But you know what, I might as well say it now, I still think Spoonie was a bit too harsh on Renoa. I mean, so what if she had sex with Cypher? Lots of people have sex with more than one partner, it's not uncommon or anything. Spoonie would know because he has porn of Renoa having sex with Doom Train. Still, I'm gonna let it slide because, you know, Spoonie's just a normal guy like you and me. He's got flaws just like the rest of us. Hell, he had problems getting his own place until his brother let him move in with him. Last I heard about it, he was gonna make a short film about all that time he spent living with his parents. I think he's gonna call it 28 Years Later. Actually, he and I, we're alike in a lot of ways. We both like John Carpenter, and he's a big fan of those films like Escape from New York, The Thing, and Village of the Damned, which, when you look at it, is how you describe the before, during, and after of Hurricane Katrina. But I gotta admit, when I was writing this, I wasn't really sure what John Carpenter movies Spoonie liked, so I said to myself, okay, I'll put a question in the Ask Spoonie thread. Then I realized that the Ask Spoonie thread is like if an executioner asked you for your last words just as a subway train rolled in. But I'm not gonna blame Spoonie for ignoring questions that people ask him. He's a busy guy, you know? And I'm not saying he's busy jerking off. That Doom Train thing was just a joke, alright? I didn't really mean that. Besides, he can't get it off if he doesn't keep watching those dogs. Still, overall, Spoonie, I gotta thank you for all the great stuff you bring us, and I'm hoping for many more years of entertainment. In fact, I'm confident about it, because that's how long your videos take to load on Blip. But I'm telling everyone now, do all you can to support Spoonie. Give him donations, give him games, buy him a coffee, I don't care. Just do whatever you can to show your appreciation. I've got something planned myself. I'm going to be making a book that he can sell on his website. It's going to be 128 pages. And on 90 of them, you can scratch off my thong with a quarter. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Peace out. You rock, Spoonie!